back to the vlogs. Today I'm excited because I'm gonna be revealing a house tour and I'm gonna be going over everything that I've experienced so far, even though it's only been 24 hours, and also going over some of the costs and some crazy rules and culture shocks that I've experienced just within moving within a couple of hours. But so far, I do want to say I absolutely love this house. It is so beautiful. I love how much window light I have in here. As you guys can see already, like that view, I don't know if you can see it actually. I'll change the settings in a little bit, but it is absolutely beautiful because we're on top of a mountain and we get to see the whole water. We can actually see the base from here. You can see like the ships in the back. And then earlier today, it was just raining, so it was so beautiful. I felt like it was giving me Twilight vibes. But we did get some groceries early this morning, so we got to go around like the neighborhood basically, because there is a grocery store not downstairs, but like down on the mountain. So it was really nice to be able to like go and see like how that is. I honestly felt like I was in an anime or like in a movie, just walking around and like seeing other people just with like their umbrellas and all this cute stuff. So it was honestly really awesome. It almost didn't feel real. I kind of feel like I'm still kind of like living in a dream or something, but it is really awesome. I'm going to include some pictures of that later, either right now or towards the end of the video. But anyways, let's get to the house tour and let's see what we got. So immediately as you're coming up, you're gonna see this beautiful view, since we are literally like probably the last houses on top of this mountain. And here you can just see the surrounding area. It's just so beautiful. We do have a neighbor to the right and two neighbors to the left, but this home does come with 2 parking spaces, so we can park exactly right here. We have the entry exit way, a little staircase. You're able to see into the balcony from here. And then when you come here, you do have this little, I guess you could monitor type thing. I know we're used to like having like rings and stuff like that, but this one actually came with the home. Now I have not set it up or know how to do it yet, but it is really nice to have that feature. You do have the mailbox where the mail person will go ahead and drop that in there. So that's nice. I don't have to go far away for that. And then we do have a bottom lock, which is really interesting. I've never seen that before. And then we have this top lock. And then we have the deadbolt, but right now I have it like this so I can come inside and not get locked out. And so basically, oops, slide this over. And then the deadbolt is gonna be this little latch that pulls up and down. And then you're gonna slide this over. So now that's closed. And then here you have the mail where it comes in. So that's where that goes. Have this little space here to put all your shoes, because in Japan it is very common practice to go ahead and remove your shoes and put them inside of some sort of like little place, or just put them in the front. But either way, you're not supposed to have your shoes inside of your home, and you just use your socks, or people have house slippers. So this is the living room area. The moment you walk in, you do have this living room. Now, just so you guys know, there is actually this sliding feature here on this door, which is actually really interesting because basically, if I wanted to, I can just close all this off. So when you come in, you literally can just like get led upstairs. Now, I'm not really sure why this would be here. It's really interesting. Maybe at night to like, I don't know, safety, or maybe if I have like guests over and I just want to close that off to make it more private here. I'm not really sure, but it is a pretty cool feature to have, and the door looks really cool, so there is that. Now for reference, here is the balcony patio area. Kitchen is over here, and then we do have the restroom slash bath slash washer dryer area, I guess we could call it. And they do have this little storage area down the stairs, which is quite interesting. But basically in here, it's pretty big. I'll show right now a zoom in part of that. But I'll probably put like holiday stuff here, maybe like sports gear, camping things, I don't know, such stuff like that would go in here. But it's pretty big, and I do like that it has that compartment in there. Patio and balcony area of the home, which was one of my favorite things, just because it's really open and it's like right here where the living space area, where the kitchen is. And so when you do come here, you do open the door like these little lever locks, and then this whole entire thing slides, and you are greeted with this beautiful view. You can see the water, the houses below, all of the mountains in the background. Extremely beautiful. I love this view so much. Being able to start and end my day here is a true blessing. And definitely will be planning to have a grill here. This home, they did say we can have a grill out here, so that was really nice because I know some homes that I did look at didn't have that option. And then in the future, possibly put some string lights here, be able to put some outdoor patio furniture where we can sit down and we are able to just enjoy this. And then this does go into the kitchen, which is the same concept of the little lever and the sliding door. So that is this part. The camera that's out in the front that I was telling you guys about. Now, again, I don't know how to use it yet, but I just know that this is where you can view like the actual camera. You can talk to there, and then who knows what these buttons say. We'll figure this out later. The buttons here to turn on switches are these type of style. Now, I'm not sure if it's just this home, probably is, or like the more type of modern ones that they were talking about, but the lighting is really good in here. We do have these sort of like wall AC units. I'm not really sure what's the proper name for them. I'll try to find it and link it below somewhere here. But basically this control is in Japanese. They all are. So this was a little difficult, but this is how it looks technically. So you can see right there, it's all in Japanese, and it's also in Celsius. So that's another thing that I did have to adjust to. But there is a humidifier button on here. So here in Japan, the culture, or like I guess the environment, it gets really, really humid and hot, especially in the summer. So as you guys saw in the other videos, like I'm always sweating, I'm always complaining how humid it is. And so anyways, the humidifier option is just so good to have already installed in the AC units. You do have to constantly change out the filters, which I did get like a small little brief on that and some paperwork about how to do that, how to take care of it, because if not, you will start getting mold in your house, and obviously that's really bad. Nobody wants that. So these all have humidifier options, and I also was able to get a humidifier from the base that's gonna be lent to me for the next 4 years. I'll show that in a different little clip soon. But yeah, so this is awesome. And different, because back in America, we're used to just having like the ACs already, like it just comes out through like a ventilation system and they're just kind of like in closets or whatever. Or you have like the window ACs, which so far now that I think about it, I don't think I've seen any window ACs here. I'm sure they probably have it, although I'm not really sure, but still crazy. So anyways, let's move on to the kitchen. This is the kitchen area, and this sink is crazy how big it is, and I'm actually really glad because I actually wash dishes like crazy because I do like to cook a lot, and I've been using a bunch of pans for multiple things. I like this little drainage system they got because you can just like pull this out and like get all the gunk out of there. There's like a little thing you can also pull there to get that. So that's really nice because you don't have to worry about getting clogged stuff or having to buy your own Drano and stuff. So really cool. Put all the sponges here and everything. It's just like little things like that that just make sense. Only 3 burners. Now this is a gas stove as well, but I really do like that. I've had a gas stove for probably like the last 2 apartments that we've lived in, and I've just gotten used to using gas stoves. So I'm actually really glad that it is a glass stove. Gas, not glass. Anyways, other features that we have here is a mini tiny oven, which is really interesting because back in America, we're used to having like huge ovens. You can feel like a whole turkey and like 3 pizzas and all this crazy stuff. Well, here it is so tiny that you have to like buy like literally miniature pizzas. And there's also like the fish grill option on a lot of the ovens in Japanese homes. Now, I don't think I have a fish grill, or it might be like a combination of it. I really do not know. It's kind of confusing. And then lastly, I do want to mention here, I have all this extra space here. So I really want to put like an island, maybe like a silver one, kind of like matching this type of top. And then I would like to put all the appliances there because I do have a microwave. It's just on the ground right now. And then I have appliances, like small appliances like air fryer, coffee machine, all that little stuff that's coming from the US. And I have nowhere to put it because there's not a lot of spacing here, but there is a ton here. So I definitely am going to start looking at that and seeing how I'm going to do it. But I think also adding like a coffee station probably in this corner would be really neat. This house, it did come with a full fridge, and I really like this fridge. I also like the color and how compact it is. So that was really cool. Fridges are also smaller here, but this fridge I think to me is still pretty big and it has a lot of space. Now I don't have much in here because I haven't really gotten much stuff, but this is, you know, just the fridge here. But this is that one. Then you have this other one, which I want to say this is also a freezer. I'm pretty sure this is not just like a normal fridge. Just in case I did not put my stuff in there in case it was gonna start defrosting, because it's not a freezer, but I'm pretty sure it is. And this is the other freezer. So this is the little ice machine, pretty cute, comes with this little scoop thing. There is these cool like compartment things. Like I like how this rolls out, but it's already like in these little compartments. Then down here, I'm assuming this is storage. I haven't really checked in all the cabinets, but yeah. Okay, so just storage in here. There's this box here. I don't know what it is, and I don't think I should open that. Probably not a good idea. I got some other compartments here. So I just kind of threw some stuff in here, but I guess these are just all normal ones. Yeah. This is a pretty big one. Then this is the undersink, which this one is huge. I've never seen an undersink like this massive. It's huge without anything like blocking the way, because usually in the American ones all the pipes are like just stuck here in the middle and it's so annoying. But this is so convenient. Like this is actually massive and everything is over there. Very nice. This is the restroom area slash washroom slash bathtub, I guess you could call it. There's a little bit of everything going on in here, but for reference, the kitchen is over here. So this is the sliding door that is just going to close off and lead into, like, I guess more private. I mean, I'm pretty much just always going to just have that closed just because there's no need to have this open and then the kitchen be right there, especially when I have people over. And this is just like the door to this area, which I probably also will plan to always have this closed, because if someone just needed to come to the restroom, they could just, I mean, open that. Because for reference, the restroom is in here, or like the toilet. And then over here you have the bathtub, which I'm gonna show in a second. And then the washer and dryer area is just right here. Now, I will say the only thing about this is that the storage is a little bit more limited. So for example, here, like where I would plan to get ready and all of that, I don't have that much storage. As you see right here, I have a bunch of stuff. This is like my makeup bag and like, you know, my bag that I was traveling with, and like little things that I kind of just thrown around in here already. I probably will get like one of those like little rolling carts to put down here, because there is open space down here. There's no cabinets, but I'll probably do that. Now there's also this little gap right here, which I'm more than likely going to buy like a little shelving system. So I would use that as storage to put also like laundry detergent, probably cleaning supplies, like the broom, things like that. And then in here is the bathtub, which is like separate from everything. So I like has like its own sliding door. So let me show you guys how that looks, because honestly, I will say this is probably one of the things that probably got me a little more culture shocked from probably all the things in the house. So let's see how that looks. All right, so this is the bathtub area, I would like to call it. And this is, like I said, where I got the most culture shocked. So to start off with, you come in here and you have this different type of mat, or it's not really a mat, it is soft though, but it is different. And then you have this little setup here, which there is also a mirror. I'm not really sure what the mirror is for, but nice to have a mirror, I would like to say. And here, I don't really know what this is. Like, are you supposed to sit on this? Because I know like in bathhouses people sit here and they put water on themselves, but I feel like this is not really a lot of space for that. So I'm not really sure what the purpose of that is, but I do like this because now I can just like shave really easy. I mean, that's one of the great things I like about that. You do have some like storage compartments here, and then you do have this little shower hose, which at first I was like so confused because I was like, shouldn't the shower hose be there or like here or even like on this side? So then I was like, okay, like how does this work? But when I did land in Tokyo, I did notice they had this little setup, and they also had this like to put the bracket down. And I was like, you know what? I'm starting to think that if I put that up there and I turn on the water with this door closing, this is actually going to drain my water. Like this is actually where you take a shower, and then that's where you take a bath, you know? So that was crazy. Like still, it feels wrong because I feel like all the water is going to come in here, but this door is actually really great for keeping out water. So I never have to really worry about that. So yeah, I like literally be showering up in here, and it feels so crazy. Now, the towels don't go in here. Obviously, they're just here for drying purposes. But one thing that I am confused about is this bathtub came with this. I don't know what this is. I'm not sure if this is like to cover this if I don't use it maybe, or what this is, but I'm gonna have to ask one of my friends who lives around here and just see what is going on, because I really don't know. But the other confusing thing was this crazy, I don't even know what this is. It's like a little panel, but it is obviously all in Japanese. So I'm like, is this like for the bathtub or something? Because there's only like one little feature I think that would probably make bubbles or something. I don't really know. So I did use the Google Lens, but it still didn't make sense to me. There's also this really nice window, and I guess if I wanted to open and just kind of like vent stuff, there's like this little net here. So that was pretty cool. But anyways, going over here, there's also this panel to control some stuff inside of the bath area, which was interesting because I actually Googled this, and apparently these buttons, not sure which ones again, but this actually has some sort of ventilation system or something like that. So usually in Japanese style homes, you don't have a dryer. So like, let's say I washed my stuff right now, I would come in here and I would hang all of my clothes on top of here, and then that, I think it's that where this can like help dry my clothes or something. I mean, maybe why you can also open the window, I'm not really quite sure. So yeah, something like that. I will find out more on this. So yeah, that is the bath area. Then you come down walking over here and you have the toilet area. So this is the toilet area. This is the lighting system, and there's also a ventilation in here. I think that's what the green button is, I want to say. But this is how it looks right now, just because I do need to organize and clean this side. But there is the bidet situation going on here. I think that's how you pronounce that. So there's like for the water to come out. I know there's also like if you want the toilet seat to get warmed up for you, and I forgot what the other buttons were, but I'll be looking more into that. And so also I know I'm supposed to close this every time, especially when you flush it, to prevent like germs from coming out when you do flush that. Still getting used to that. And then there's also this I have no idea what it is still. Maybe to wash your hands. I don't think that's the thing where the water comes out. I'm pretty sure it comes out of there, but yeah. And then there's like a flush up and down, meaning like what is that word called again? Like a high flush, low flush. I still do not know which one is which, so I need to look into that. But there's also this little area to put the towel, I guess, when I don't know, I don't think that's to wash your hands. I don't think so. I don't know. I will find out, guys. But this also does have a lock, so like someone can be showering, someone can be in the toilet, like I can even be washing clothes and doing set stuff. So I do like that everybody can use something in here. If you know, people did have to use multiple different things if I had people over of such. So moving on. Okay, so also I did forget to mention there's also this other panel, and this one apparently controls, I'm pretty sure it controls multiple things, but I did find out in order to turn on hot water, you would click this button like that, and then it has like the temperature. I mean, right now I'm gonna turn that off, but I still have to learn like what these other buttons are, because these are clickable, and what these were. But I just know that the water does run, it just runs kind of like room temperature or cold water. But when I want to take a shower, I have to click this button in order for the water to come out warm. So that's quite interesting. We'll find out more like how or why like these are installed in Japanese homes. I'm sure there's a really great reason, I just do not know why. But it's also quite interesting to see how many different panels and switches I have for different things around this home. So you guys can see, this is actually the staircase from right when you walk in to go upstairs. This staircase, I absolutely love it. Like this little type wood creamish style with the white and even just the gray railing just really makes it, I don't know, it just looks aesthetically pleasing to me. Then they have like this little pop window here. Oh my gosh, I almost fell. And here I would like to have like a cool Lego piece where like you can like open it, it's like a little house in here. I don't know, I just like having stuff like that. So this, it just has to be cool. Not a cool figurine would also be nice. Here though, I will say the staircase is kind of scary. Many times I already hit my toes because I feel like the staircase is also really small for my foot. And I don't know if this is like, again, this style or just in Japan in general, but the staircase like compared to my feet, and that's because I actually have small feet, it actually like hits it. So I can't imagine people if they have bigger feet. I just hope nobody ever falls or hurt themselves here. But basically, this is this area, and there is the light feature. There's a button down here and a button up there to control the lighting. So there's that. For now, we're just gonna turn it off. Actually, I use the light upstairs, so just in case. But let's go and check out the rooms now. Okay, so the moment that you do come up the stairs, you are looking at this type of hallway right here. So up ahead, you do have the master bedroom, which that one does have a handle type door to go inside, but the two additional rooms that are on the side are actually sliding doors, as you see right here. And so this is one of the rooms. Now I'm not really sure what we're gonna do to this room exactly just yet, but I'm so far thinking like a game room, probably just have maybe some sort of like futon in here, just kind of like a little relaxing place. But I do love that it has actually a lot of storage, because we do have some stuff that I think we're probably not gonna end up putting out now, because who knows, I don't know. But technically, this is how it looks. A lot of space in here. Already put some stuff, but just for reference, you can see like, I'm gonna put 1 foot here and 1 foot over here, and like, that's pretty big. So there's that. And then the view going out here is just the other houses. And it just looks like a little anime view in my opinion, but it just looks really nice, very calm, very chill. Right now it does look like really bad outside because we're about to have a thunderstorm, but this is just really, really peaceful. And then this one also has its own AC unit in here, which right now I do have it off just because we're not in here. But other than that, the room is really spacious. I definitely feel like you can even put like a whole like queen bed in here. And even an office, like there's a lot that you can do in here. So there's that. Then we have this other room over here, which this is a room that I'm most excited about because it's gonna be like my office space. And this room is a little smaller, but this one has a lot more window lighting. Let me move this out of the way. But here you are just greeted with a beautiful mountain view. Like, that's just so beautiful. Like, I cannot wait to just like have my desk. I'm probably gonna have it right here to just be able to have this view right here. Like, gosh, so beautiful. And you just like have all the mountains over there. So yeah, this is this little area. And then over here, you have this really interesting window. Now this one's like a little crank one. So let me just open it real quick so you guys can see the window. I'm gonna start cranking it though. And this one just opens up like a flap style, like this. And that is how that window looks like. Okay, we're gonna close that up. But yeah, the view goes crazy. Like, damn, I still can't believe like this is the view. I just can't get over that. Now the closet here is a little bit smaller, but it is pretty like elongated still. Like, I feel like you can even, like, if I had to put any sort of stuff, like big tall things, it would definitely fit in here because this goes like I'm 5'4", and if I put like my hand up here, like there's still a good amount of space. So that is really nice to have. And I do like that it has like this double closed doors type style. And then you have this cute little area here. I put some books that I just had with me, but I really do like that. It's like some little shelving in there. And then this one also does have its AC unit. So all of the rooms do have their own, which is nice. Then coming down over here, you do have the master room. So this is how the master room looks like. Now the mattress, they did lend us this right now temporarily. I also asked for only one of those and the mirror. You could have asked for way more, but I just didn't want too much. They also did have a spring box, but that actually didn't fit in here because the staircase is so small. And they did also have like the bed frame, but I didn't ask for that. So either way, it probably wouldn't have fit if the box spring didn't fit in here. But this is really nice because it has its own like AC thing, and I'm gonna have the bed there no matter what. So it's nice because it can just like flow here and it just like gets the best AC. Then you do have the closet space, which is actually huge. I really do love this because we actually do have quite a lot of clothes, but specifically we have a lot of shoes. Hold on, I'm having trouble opening this. Oh, there we go. All right, cool. So this is the closet space and it extends pretty far and it's pretty elongated as well. Then this one also has the double sliding feature, not sliding, but like the double door here. And here I was kind of thinking like maybe putting some like the jewelry stuff things here. I'm not sure what we'll put down there, and then maybe like pans to like other fancy stuff here. But so far this is good. All right, so the view here goes absolutely crazy. I wanted to say this for the ending, but man, waking up to this, gorgeous. I cannot wait for it to rain today. It's gonna look so good, like so Twilight vibes. It did rain earlier, I got some footage, but I feel like now because it's getting a little darker, it's gonna look even way better. And then you'll see that there's the parking spots down there, that cool like greenery going on, and then the balcony area down here. Now this also opens all the way. So if I were to open this, you can just like see down here, which is really nice. Oh, a little foggy. Okay, let's close that. But yeah, that is pretty much it. This concludes the tour. So now that the tour's concluded, I wanted to go over the paper side of things, like the cost breakdown, some of the rules, and some other things that I got. So for starters, I want to go with the second most culture shock that I got. The first one being the restroom. The second one being the waste separation here. And this is a pamphlet that I got from the base. So I'm not sure if this is just like something that they put together with the city, or this is something that the city is able to give out to everybody. And then for some reason, you know, this one's just translated into English for me. But either way, this was super crazy. And I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of intimidating. I know this is something that is done all throughout Japan, and specifically this area, as you see here in this little tab, it does say central area. So these are just the rules and the times that follow for this little area where I am housed. So just like basically a quick summary, because if not, it's gonna be a whole other video. But if anybody was ever interested, I can make a different video on this. But basically here, the way that we do get rid of our trash is so different, especially from America. And someone who has lived there almost their entire life, this is very crazy for me. I'm actually kind of scared to mess this up because I really do not want to get in trouble, and I really don't want to get you know, my neighbors mad at me or anything like that. So for now, I have been trying to practice this, but for the most part, I have been dumping my trash at the base, which they do allow you to, except the only thing is it's also a little bit of a sorting process as well, but it's not as crazy as the one here. So basically, you do have a recyclable type bin that's outside of the home that they do come twice a month. And just to show you guys, this is how serious it is. Like, they have a whole pamphlet on how this works, and they tell you like what you can and when you can't do. But specifically, for example, like aluminum, I'm just gonna read this real quick. Separate aluminum cans and steel cans. Please check recyclable icons on the cans. Please do not crush the cans. So for example, I have this can right here right now, and there's supposed to be a little sign. So right here, this is a Japanese can. You can see here that there is an icon as well as the little triangle, and it has like some information on there. And so basically, depending like what it says, will let you know like what type of recyclable this is, whether it's aluminum or steel. In this case, this is, I want to say, a steel can based off the, no, actually this is aluminum. Apologies. But anyway, so there's that. You also cannot crush the can, and you also have to clean the can out. And then it says, please dispose of oily cans, metal lids, spray cans, cassette cylinders, and so on as non-burnable waste. So that's just one of the parts, right? Now, the other things that they do consider that maybe you think are like, oh, this is recyclable, but it's actually not. They do have like a whole section about like notice of disposable recyclable items, kind of like, for example, like a baby bottle. You think, oh, it's a plastic, so I can recycle that. But it's like giving you information more about that. Another thing that we do have here that was kind of crazy, they do consider, I guess, everything else basically that you can recycle or like fit in the other categories is considered non-burnable waste. So you have to use designated garbage bags for that. So this was crazy because, you know, back in America, we have all sorts of brands. We have like the black bags. You can use the bags from the store, like, you know, the ones from Walmart, H-E-B, whatever. Here you have specific bags. So just to show you also as well, like more or less what you can consider like throwing away and not, that has like its own crazy like category, and it has pictures, which I really like. I really do appreciate this so much because this just makes it a little bit easier for me. But basically the bags, and they don't look this big, this is just an example, but the bags are going to be in this like clear plastic, and they have this green lettering on it. I'm not sure what the green lettering says. I eventually will know. But basically, it tells you there like what type of bag you need to get, or not bag, I'm sorry, the sizing of it. So they do have this. It says burnable and non-burnable waste information. So we did get a coupon book, and the city of Sasebo designated garbage bags at a discounted price with the coupon book. This is said coupon book. Now for us, we got one per dependent. So for this household, we have 2 dependents. So we were able to get 2 of these, and you get 1 per year. And considering this is something of the city, I am assuming that everyone else also gets this, but I'm not really sure. And so basically this is how this page looks, and it just kind of goes over the pricing, the type of bag, and just some information about the bags. But basically, once we were to designate our like burnable, recyclables, I know there's also some other categories. You have to put your waste in the designated bag and take it to the designated collection station. And then it says, please make sure to tie or tape up the bag shut. Please make sure not to spill the content. So very important that everything is contained inside of the bag. And that just has like literally, you know, like I said, all of the information in there. And so there's that. They did say, actually, let me say that, very important. So you only get one of these per year, as I did mention, but depending what type of bags you get and what sizes, it depends how many come in there. Like someone can actually just run through these. If they just get large bags, you'll run out of this very quickly. So they said to use them very wisely and kind of see how much you're dumping, like, you know, be more resourceful, things like that. So there's that. They also do have different schedules for different type of trash. So there is a burnable waste collection on time that they do come, and that one is twice a week, which is nice because, you know, back home in America, we're used to mostly trash coming by once a week, and also we have bigger bins and stuff. But here, the bins are super tiny. They're probably like about this big, and then they're like that tall, but it's like for everyone, mostly like in your little area. So like right here with the neighbors that I have on my little segment area, we all share the same like big bin. That's like this like metal type crate. And I've seen those all around this area of Japan, the Sasebo, Nagasaki area. And then in addition to that, we also have the non-burnable waste collection schedule. So that has a different schedule of its own. And this one I believe is, this one's once a month. Okay, then you also have your recyclables, as I talked about earlier in this clip, and that one comes also twice a month. There's a whole schedule for it as well. And then lastly, we do have oversized waste. So this is where it gets kind of complicated. Like if you were trying to get rid of said waste. So for example, if I had this chair, right, or this table, and I no longer wanted it, and I couldn't get rid of it, I couldn't sell it or whatever, I would have to go to the, I want to say, I'm not sure where actually, but you go to a specific office and you have to collect these yellow tickets, and that's how they look like. And when you get these yellow tickets, you one, have to pay for them, but two, depending how big your item is depending how much you're going to get of the ticket, not how many tickets, sorry, depending how much you spend for this ticket. And then after that, you schedule for them to come and pick up the items that you bought with your yellow ticket. Like, oh, if I have 3 chairs, you know, I'm gonna schedule that and I have to pay X amount of money. So just for reference, depending what again you get. So like I'm assuming it looks like 1 chair is considered 1 ticket, and then that's considered to be 520 yen. 2 tickets, 1,040, and then it goes up depending how oversized the item is. And there's a whole schedule for that. There's phone numbers, but all of that information is in there. And then it also says that information about bringing garbage, waste, and recyclables into the clean center. So it looks like you can also bring stuff into the area. Maybe you have overflow, or, you know, maybe you forgot to put your bags out, you know, whatever the reason, they have information on that on the pamphlet. And then there's also oversized like household appliances. That's a whole different situation. So here what they consider that more or less is like TVs, dryers, refrigerators, things of that nature. And so they go over that, how you have to get rid of it. I'm not sure how expensive this is or how this process goes, but I just know that you have to call this number and you kind of go over the process. But either way, it says keep our city clean, illegal dumping and littering are strictly prohibited. You know, that's pretty much a rule anywhere. I know, especially like America, I'm sure in other countries. But either way, here they take that very serious, which is why everything is so clean. People are not, you know, out here littering, literally dropping stuff on the side of the street, their freeways, things like that. Onto the next page, we do have items that are not going to be accepted at all. Now, I'm not sure how you would get rid of these items then, but I'm not sure, maybe the pamphlet goes over that or there's a whole other system in place. But from what summary I read from this is basically things that you can't, it says here they have to consult with the shops or the dealers that you bought these items. So items would be like safes, paints, car tires, safes, etc., stuff of that nature. And then lastly, we have on this page soil and waste. So if I had a garden or anything like that, I have specific bags to clear that up. As I've walked around this area, I have seen a lot of people with gardening and stuff. And specifically today, actually, I saw some areas where they had like these clear bags, but they didn't look like these bags. They were like some other clear bags, and they had like leaves and branches and stuff like that. So that's a whole other process. There's also, it says here, business related waste and trash moving house stuff. So I'm assuming like maybe boxes and stuff. But either way, it's a whole other process. Okay, so that's down in there. And then next we have notes on how to dispose your garbage, which is great. You know, I specifically really need these notes. And it also gives you a list of caution of things like how to safely dispose of mercury, empty spray cans, things of that nature, things of rechargeable batteries, all sorts of stuff, even pet bottles, which there are also areas around town that I have seen, specifically like grocery stores. I know even outside of some 7-Elevens, they have these other bins where you can throw like trays. For example, like let's say you buy like a little meal prep dish and then you have like the plastic container. At the grocery store, I've seen like these sort of trash bins where you throw that item in there. And of course you do have to clean it and all of that. I even seen like the bottle caps in a separate bin on the ground, and then the bottles, like the plastic bottles, go inside of the, you know, the little trash can or whatever that they have. So that, like I said, is a whole other process. That's how that page looks like. And then let's see, we also have utilize of unwanted household items. So this is like, if you want to donate, it seems. It says recyclable shop in the city. So here there's like dressers, chairs, bookshelves, electrical appliances, stuff like that. So I guess you can try like maybe donating items before buying those yellow tickets or trying to sell it before, you know. But they have that information here. They also have, let me see, what does it say? Selling unwanted items. So it looks like there's also an area here where you can sell stuff, like an app or something. There's like a QR code there and all that. So it's pretty neat that they do still give you the options and like how you would get rid of stuff. Just because, you know, they don't pick it up doesn't mean they're gonna like just leave it up to you. They do at least tell you like how you would go on about said items. And then they also have some other QR codes down here where you can go ahead and follow them like on social media. They have a YouTube. So that's really neat that they have all this other, you know, sort of channels for information, knowledge, things like that. They also go over how to, efforts to reduce food loss. So they also have, it looks like a food drive around here where you can go and take said things. Of course, they do go over like what sort of stuff and just kind of like trying to help out to not waste food, which is really good because I feel like a lot of places, specifically like even in America, we throw food a lot, like crazy, like stores, restaurants, and that's really bad. But here they try their very best to do their best to give out the food and, you know, donate it so other people can have it. And that's awesome. I really love that. So there's a whole page on that process. And let's see, I think this is the last page actually. Yeah, this is the last page. So they do have here, outdoor burning of waste is prohibited by law, imprisonment, for up to 5 years if the violation is done so. And they also have, or actually, it's imprisonment of up to 5 years, or you can pay a fine up to 10 million yen or possibly both. Waste Disposable Act 2, Article 25, etc., etc. So there's a whole thing on that. Now, this is really good because I know back home in the US, there's a lot of like farms and other places and just random people just like burning stuff all the time. But here, there's like, you're gonna get in big trouble. There's a whole thing on it. Also, the illegal dumping from earlier in the clip, it says here that one is about the same. So imprisonment up to 5 years, or you pay a fine of up to 10 million yen or possibly both. And again, speaking of fire, I did forget to mention in the front page where they have the burnable waste, actually, there's a whole section of how to get rid of fireworks, heat packs, lighters. They also tell you about those boxes, like those bins that I was telling you about, like at the, oops, I don't even know if you can see that, but the grocery store. And then they also have kitchen waste. So how to, it says, please drain food scraps, oils, etc. They also talk about the yard waste, which I was telling you about. So, it says right here, please be careful not to mix with dirt. So you actually have to have your dirt and your wood stuff separate, which I didn't know that until I just read this right now. I had missed that part. And then also if you're disposing of diapers for either adults or kids, that's a whole separate bag. And it says actually here you need to write on use a permanent marker to write on the bag and put a certain word on there. And then lastly here, it does talk about also getting rid of ink cartridges. So yeah, there's a lot. So I already am 15 minutes into this. This is crazy. I had tried to film this earlier and it was like 20 some, almost 30 minutes. I was like, absolutely not. Okay, so there's that. Next, we do have a map that they did give us, and it basically just tells us like where to go to the little trash can area. But luckily for me, mine is like kind of like maybe 1 block away, so that's great. Now the base did give us a whole pamphlet basically of like how to get rid of trash as well, and how we can go and take that, but that's also a whole other process. So it is a little easier, but still complicated. And they do have like maps and all that stuff. Now the base also gave us this pamphlet about living in Sasebo today. And this basically goes over everything like that you can think of. Now I'm not gonna go over this, but basically it goes over like utilities, how to pay, things about your area. They also gave us some stuff about mold prevention, which is really great. It also goes over things about like putting what is it called? Like work orders if we needed that. We do have an English representative to help us. So this is like the only, I guess you could say, thing that's separate. If someone was like moving here from the US or anywhere actually, just to live in Japan as someone who is not part of a military family, like doing orders here and working, they do help us a little bit more with things like this, which is really nice. Lastly, I want to go over the expense portion of the housing process. I'm going to go over the monthly costs and then the total cost that I did have to pay up front. So for starters, the rent for the home that we just toured is 135,000 yen, which converts to $936.28 at today's exchange rate. So if you think about it, we have a 3-bedroom, 2-story house with 2 parking area. That comes out to a little over $940 a month, which is really nice because in America, we all know anywhere almost is at least like 1,000 minimum and up. And it's not even as crazy as like having a 3-bedroom, apartment or home or anything like that. So that was really crazy for me to believe that this house cost that much, but that was a culture shock, okay? So I did forget to mention that the monthly rent does include 2 out of the 3 utilities. So it does include the water bill. So that's actually really great and also makes it a little bit easier so we don't have to worry about paying for that. And the most important to me that I really loved is that it actually includes the Wi-Fi. So we had 3 different Wi-Fis that we can choose from. There was like a 5G, a 2G, and a 3G, of course, using the 5G one, but it was really great to have different options. So lastly, the only utility that we do have to take care of is the propane. Now the propane does not only just function off for the gas stove, but it also runs apparently the AC unit somehow. So of course, depending how much AC you're going to be running is going to matter if your bill is going to be super high or super low. We'll let you guys know in future video how much my utility bill ends up coming out to, but just wanted to throw that the 940 does include 2 of those utilities. So moving on. Next thing we're gonna go over is the amount that I had to pay for the security deposit. So the security deposit was a 1 month rent. So that ended up coming out to the 135,000 yen. And then as well, we did have to pay advanced rent. So as normal, you know, you pay your prorated rent and then you also have to pay the advanced rent. So we had to pay 1 whole month in advance on top of the security deposit. So the prorated rent, we ended up moving in about maybe like 12, 13 days before the month ended, something like that. It ended up being 49,500 yen. And then the monthly rent, you know, as we just went over, is 135,000 yen. So that alone just equaled 184,500. But if you think about it, it seems like a lot, but it's actually kind of good because now that I paid for that whole month in advance, now when it comes to November, I'm ready to pay and I have kind of having some things furnished around here. So anyways, going on. We also have the restoration fee. Now, we did not have to pay a restoration fee because we don't have any tatami mats in this unit, house, area, property. But basically, if other places that do have tatami mats, you do have to pay this restoration fee. Now, next up, we do have the realtor's fee. So because this is a housing that was set up through a realtor company, there was a realtor that showed the house, there was a realtor that picked me up and did all the signing, did all the processes of this. So their cut was 148,500 yen, which converts to $1,029.91. Next up, we do have the renter's insurance. As you know, commonly we also have in America, except that this one we didn't have an option to choose our own. We had to go through the realtor company, which I think honestly just makes it so much easier. And I actually prefer this because it benefits not only them knowing that the house is secured, but also it benefits us because it's just something that was already completed and it's actually a really good price. So we ended up getting, well, we didn't get it. They are the one that set this up. But they told us that this is a 2-year renter's insurance. So since we're here for 4 years, when it comes to the 2-year mark, you know, we do have to pay this fee again. But it comes out to 14,000 yen. And that ends up being converted to $97.10 USD. So a month, if you break that down by, 24 months for 2 years, it actually ends up being $4.04 a month, which is actually really great. Because I know back in the States, usually I was paying between $12 to $20, depending like where I was in what state. But anyways, that's covered up. And then lastly, that brings our total cost to $482,000 for the entire upfront cost to the realtor when we did go sign. So that ends up being converted to $3,342.88. Now, the realtor company did ask us to present this money in cash. There was no way to do a wire transfer or a check of any sort. So we did get notified this way in advance. So we made sure to have all his yen up front. And then we did have, because we went through the military housing, they did have an advisor who was bilingual. They were able to help us translate, everything. Half of the documents were mostly in Japanese, but some of them were in English. And they also, did give us the English pamphlets to learn about the house rules and other things of such. So that was really useful to be able to have somebody to help us. And then, of course, to do the other side of military ends of things like that, paperwork and such. Anyways, I just wanted to seem a little more enthusiastic on the ending because I was so dead from repeating over and over to get the right clip. But thank you guys for tuning in. I know this was a very long video, but I appreciate you guys watching. If you have any questions or want any specific content, please let me know, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.